Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Join the latest phenomenon where you can see every single video game. No video game is left behind. We're currently playing the games that were released at some time in October 1982.
Look out! Get out of the way! Get out!
And we were last playing on the Sharp MZ line of home computers in Japan, playing Croaker or Frogger. You know, either one will work. Let's see what our next video game is. Our next release is on the Atari VCS. This marks our 149th video game that we played on the Atari. Let's play some Crazy Climber. Crazy Climber. It's amazing, and this is an official Crazy Climber. Let's take a look at the box. Oh, very nice. I've never seen that sticker in the top left corner. It says an arcade favorite, but the artwork is awesome. It's not the usual classic Atari artwork. This reminds me of like the beginning of the new wave of box art for the Atari. But very, very well done. There you go, Crazy Climber. Let's flip it over on the back. Nice. Come one, come all. Watch the death-defying feats of a human fly. Crazy Climber. Help him scale the world's tallest building, and we will. Gives an example of the screenshot at the top. It does say 1 or 2 players, but there is no multiplayer. You're not playing at the same time. You got to take turns, just like if it was in the arcade. What other artwork do we have for Crazy Climber? Nice. Besides the box, we have all the ads you would have seen at the time. This one's a little special because if you look down at the bottom, this one was a call-in order that was inside of the Atari Club member magazine. So if you were an Atari Club member, you could call in and mail order this video game early. So that's why we say this was released at some time in October 1982, because whoever ordered this first and it happened to arrive, then you'd be able to play the game. So you really can't pin down exactly when the release date was. It's kind of like whenever we play those type-in video games, they could be released anytime, you know, whenever you decide to type in and play them. But there it is, look. Excellent artwork coming from the magazine. Yeah, there it is, explaining what the game's like, only from the Atari Club. Now, this was first available for Atari Club members, but then you can get it later. There it is, become an Atarian with your membership. The Atari Club membership. So cool. I don't know if I want to be that kind of superhero. We've already seen the Atarians. That was the magazine or the comic book that was included in some of the video games. So that's awesome. Love it. This is obviously by Atari, or published by Atari. Since the beginning of time, this marks the 141st game that Atari has published across all systems, all platforms. And this is the 63rd published Atari game on the Atari VCS. There's the cartridge we're going to pop in. Crazy Climber. We've come a long way, Crazy Climber. First saw it in the arcades back in October 1980, and now it's official for a second time official for a home console. Here's the manual for Crazy Climber. We're just going to look at a few of the highlights. Has some of the excellent artwork still. Yes. Oh, yeah, Curtis, we need that cape if we join the Atari Club. I know you get the magazine, but maybe you got a few other things like a membership card, too. So here's the table of contents. All the different things involved with how to play the game. It begins with the lore is a news flash. The video times. Police reported Agile Daredevil nicknamed Crazy Climber. That's us. We're Crazy Climber. Will he fall? And then it shows a few of the other characters like the Mad Dr. Conks Climber. And then the Condor. Oh, man, if you ever played it, do you remember the bird? You always have a bird that picks on you. The Condor is the one here. Win at Crazy Climber by climbing to the tops of 4 skyscrapers. So essentially has 4 different levels, avoiding enemies and obstacles that can knock you off the side of the building. You can climb up, right, or left, not down the row of windows. The faster and further you climb, the more points you score. It is another score attack game because it's still October 1982. The top of the screen shows you there are 3 climbers there. I don't know why it's showing you where the Crazy Climber is. We get the idea. We can understand where Crazy Climber is. You'll start the game with 5 climbers, and each time you get to the top of a skyscraper, you'll be able to go to the next level. You'll need sharp eyes, quick reflexes to make it past all the obstacles placed in your path. The biggest obstacle, windows. Yes, ever-present danger are windows. Every time a window closes shut on your hands, you'll fall, and you'll lose a life. If it only falls on one of your hands, you're safe. Oh, but only if you stay still. If you try to climb up while one hand is trapped in the window, then you'll fall down. Look at that. The manual is showing us artwork, which is pixel artwork. Very, very cool. And then here's what the Mad Doctor looks like. He looks like a smiley face, like a flattened evil Otto. But the Mad Doctor smiles while throwing a bizarre assortment of missiles at you. He has 3 to choose from: a flower pot, a basket of fruit, and a bucket of water. Yes, dangerous, dangerous missiles. If you hit any of these while you're climbing, you'll fall. Make sure your hands are firmly planted, and you'll be okay. There explains what a closing window looks like, and the Mad Doctor, which you can barely see in this screenshot. If you had the manual, maybe if you squint your eyes, you'd be able to take a look at it. And then over here we have an example of what the condor looks like, that giant white bird. Now, whenever I played these games originally, I never saw the manual, so I never knew exactly what they were. So it's interesting seeing what they're actually called in the game, because when you play games on the Atari, usually you're making up what they are. And I'm looking at, Donkey Kong gingerbread barrels and cookies being thrown down. Here in Crazy Climber, you can kind of make out it's a bird. And then over there's the girders that fall down. We can see those falling from the top of the building. We also have the electric sign to watch out for. And then when you reach the top, the helicopter will rescue you, and you'll go to the next building. Up to 4 different buildings, but even if you finish for the 4th building, you can keep on climbing. It just keeps going and going, as usual. This explains how the controller works, and this is unique because the arcade game used 2 joysticks, essentially like using 2 hands to move up and down the building. So this one is just using the single joystick, and explains how the controls work. You move up on the joystick to have 2 hands to come up, and then to pull your hands or climb up, you pull the joystick down. So it's combining the twin stick joysticks into this one. So here's how we start the game. Make sure the console's turned off. Yes, we know. Here's what the game reset switch does, the game select switch, the TV type, difficulty switches. And this one, if you go from difficulty A to B, you have a harder time grasping the ledges if you do that. So you have a little variation there. And then lots of variations for how the game is played. I think it's 4 different buildings and variations on each one. Novice variation to play all the way up to, I believe, you can use the matrix at the end of the manual. So 4 different buildings, and this explains the scoring and points for everything. Got to know what the points are, as well as, look at that, classic helpful hints from Atari. As usual, I love it. So here we go. The game matrix, you have to turn your head a little bit on the side, but you can go to 4 different buildings, and whether you do 1-player or 2-player, you have a novice version, which is like the kids version. We've seen a few Atari games do that too. But you can go to either one of the buildings right off the bat. Just use the game select switch. So fun. All right, let's pop in and play some Crazy Climber for the first time on your Atari. The official one. This is by Alex Levins. Way to go, Alex. At some time in October 1982. This is the very first game that Alex Levins has done for the mail order game. And this is also the official game brought to us by Nihon Busan. This is the 15th game we've seen them do across all systems. And this is the very first time that Nihon Busan or Nichibutsu has appeared on your Atari. All right, so I'm going to go with building 1 and go ahead and reset. And we get greeted with a nice ditty. Wow, pretty good for the Atari. So as we're climbing up, you can see the windows are slowly closing. If they come down in your hands, then you're out of luck and you fall down. Be nice and easy now. There you go. Go to the side. So the controls on your Atari VCS joystick are you move the joystick up to get your hands on top, but then you have to bring the joystick down to pull yourself down. So it actually feels really intuitive. It feels like I have a lot of control over the climber coming up and down, moving my joystick up and down to climb up the building. Don't close on my hands, though. So you get in a rhythm going, but then you can see, oh, the Mad Doctor trying to throw things on us. Nice and easy. I think we're doing okay. Keep climbing there. If I go in between, looks like he can't hit us. Oh, unless the window closes down. It got on both our hands. And you fall a little bit further. But the higher you go, you get more and more points to see how far you can climb. And continue to climb till you reach the top of the building. So it's very much, very closely related to the arcade version. Just doesn't have the same unique control scheme. Yes, I've never played this port. I'm more familiar with the arcade version than this one. And since we saw this in the arcades first, there's been a few other games that were close to Crazy Climber. Oh gosh, the Condor is even harder than the Mad Doctor. After we saw the official arcade version, Then we saw a handheld version that was not official. It was by Bandai, but it was a handheld that had 2 joysticks. So they tried to incorporate the same control scheme, but for a handheld, which was pretty cool. After that, we saw a variant called Firebird on the Atari home computer. And then after that, we saw Rock Climber in the arcade in 1981. I believe that one was only done by Taito, because this one was Nichibutsu and Taito. It depends on what region you were in. Nope, don't close on my hands. Make my way up. Yeah, but the way that this is controlling, moving the joystick up and down, it feels like I'm climbing. So they match the controls to play really well. Oh no, he got me. He's really, really fast. Even on game mode 1. Let's see if we can keep going. And you can see at the top of the screen, they're keeping a high score record. Nice and easy. There we go. After we saw Rock Climber, then we did see the first port on a home console, and that was on the Arcadia 2001 in May 1982. Nope, not on my fingers. So this one is technically the second home console port of Crazy Climber. And it was official, too, on the Emerson Arcadia 2001. I wonder if Nichibutsu put it out on that home console and it wasn't. They realized the home console wasn't selling as well. And everyone has an Atari, so put it on there. Let's go right here. There we go. Got to find which one has the best windows to open and close. Looks like we're almost there. No condors, quick. Get to the top. Nice. Very, very satisfying. Fun to play. And getting used to the control scheme because you move left and right. It's like you're wiggling the joystick up, down, left, and right. It's nice. Oh, really, Marshall? Yeah, this was official. Maybe because you think of it as a prototype because it was part of the mail-in order on the Atari Club. Well, after we saw that first port... Oh, we have to get to the... It was waiting for me to put one hand up before we move to the next building. So here we go on building 2. Difficulty increases. I'm looking good on this side. Nope, I got a window closing. And you can see I can't climb over to the left until it opens up. And then we got random girders. Uh-oh. Move over. There we go. Got so many to dodge. We did see another variant in the arcade after that called Jack the Giant Killer, which essentially just was a climbing game in the arcade. And that was in May 1982. And then we also saw The Human Fly, which is a variant on the Apple II. And The Human Fly was interesting. It was a little harder to play. This one feels great, especially for a home console. Now, I only have two windows, which means if both windows close like it does right here, I don't think there's anything I can do. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to climb up until the window opens. You have to have an open window to climb. Nope, don't close on my hands. Ah, that was close. So right here, I'm stuck until the... Uh-oh, nope. Oh! and it tricked me. So you have to climb down whenever you see all the windows close, especially if it has 2 here like this, and if they're closing at the same time. Nice and easy. There we go. Yeah, I love the way this plays. It's a lot of fun. Oh, that's true, Marshall. We haven't seen any Spider-Man yet, but I felt the same way when we saw any buildings, any video games with buildings. I kept thinking Spider-Man, but no, it hasn't come out yet. I'm excited to see that commercial again. Anybody remember the Spider-Man one? We're gonna keep climbing. Don't close. Uh-oh, nope, nope. Oh, wow, I got lucky that time. We need this condor to go away. Maybe I picked the lucky side to play, because we're doing good, still climbing up. Oh, and he got us on that one. Cool, and there you go. That is the game over. That is Crazy Climber on the Atari home computer. Excellent. Just a quick taste. There's a lot of other variations you can play, but man, of all the games you can play right now on a home console, this one's still very good. Very fun, and I'm actually amazed. Being a way that you could play where you order something and then it comes in by mail first. Like this is the first time you could check it out. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting mostly average, but I'd say above average for at least for all the games you can play up to this point. Now, so especially since it's someone's first video game they ever programmed, it's done very well. Yeah, and really nice for Atari. Faithful port. If you're a fan of the arcade version of Crazy Climber, this one's better than the Emerson Arcadia 2001. And so I'm going to have to give it a higher rating than that one on the home console. I'm going to go 4 stars. Of all the games you could play across all home consoles, Crazy Climber is excellent. right now, considering everything else that you could play. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. Speaking of the arcade, let's go to the arcade and play Digger and see what Digger is all about. Here's the advertisement flyer for Digger. Digger is a game that we've already played. At least it was called Digger. So we've already played Digger in the arcade, but it's a totally different game. It was Hyonkyo Alien in the United States. They just called it Digger. So this is the second arcade game we played called Digger. It's just not really the same game at all. Wow, look over in the chat. Mostly 4 stars, right? Yeah, Marshall, good point about the helicopter. Yeah. All right, so this one is our 469th arcade game we've played on Chronologically Gaming. The artwork is charming, interesting, but I'm not familiar with it. Maybe because it has just a generic title. What is chasing us? We look like we're a prospector, though, digging for gold. And this is by Century Electronics. This is the 6th game we've seen them do, and they've all been in the arcade. And one of the best ones that Century Electronics has done was Space Fortress. Check that one out, too. That's the only thing I saw there. There's the arcade PCB. Yeah, and the controls are just dig and fill. So we got 2 buttons we'll use with a 4-way joystick. But that's it, and along with a screenshot. All right, let's go to the arcade and play some Digger. Century Electronics at some time in October 1982.
Game system operational.
Oh, it has talking. Nice. I wonder if there's any more voice in there. So this is first time boot up. I guess it depends on whenever your operator got it at the arcade or laundromat or wherever you did your arcading at this time. Nice. It's going in the attract mode. Oh, look at that. So in the attract mode, you can tell we're digging again. This is the 14th video game that digging is the main mechanic. And this one is big time hitting on Dig Dug, or it gives me Dig Dug vibes all over. And that's still fairly fresh and new. This one would be the 5th Dig Dug-like game we played so far on the show. All right, so press fire. They give us instructions. Okay, let's see. We're going to have 9 instructions like the last arcade game. All right, so use the joystick for digging, avoid monsters, dig gold for bonus points, dodge monsters, dig over bugs to release, bugs kill monsters and you. Okay. So there's our instructions. Everyone ready? And
Press start button.
yes, it does have voice. All right, so put in the coin and then push and start. Let's go. If you wanted to do this 2-player, it is arcade style. You have to take turns. He just chugs along, picking up a gold nugget. Nice. What's my action button? Where's my dig? Oh, is that it? That is a terrible action button. Look, it's just making one little white thing show up. Look. It's not very well animated, I'll give it that. Oh, we touched the bug thing, and then, a giant bug came out and killed us. Oh, no problem, Kun. All right, so keep going down here. Looks like maybe if we get all the gold nuggets, then we'll be safe. But there's things coming at us. Look at what's coming after us. That is so freaky, and we don't have rocks like Dig Dug. Maybe I should touch this from the bottom. Will it release? Oh, there you go. So you can use that to pause the enemy. It kind of gives them a little reprieve. Wait, so how do we get rid of the enemies, though? We need to read the instructions again. You have to read too many instructions in the arcades, though. It's not really the best experience. Where's my dig? All I'm doing is the one action button pauses, but when I try the other action button, it's not doing anything. Come on, Digger. At least the digging mechanic does work. But when you put this side by side next to Dig Dug, can you tell the uncharming vibes? We're going against these disgusting looking blue blob monsters, and plus he's not doing any a cutesy little animation. But the enemies are warping through the ground just like in Dig Dug. Let's see if we can release this the right way. Or we're supposed to uncover something, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a complete video game, or maybe a rushed arcade game. Yeah, Brian, not as exciting as Dig Dug because there's no sound when you're walking. All right, so we put in our name. Can we... Okay, C-H... Does it go down? No, it doesn't. We have a 4-way joystick, but we can't... We have to scroll all the way across. As is usual. There we go, high score. First person to boot up the arcade cabinet. And then nobody ever played Digger ever again. All right, we can put in coins.
Press start button.
They got the synthesized speech, though. And here I thought everything with synthesized speech just makes it better, but I need to know how to get to the next level, so maybe I'll take a look at the instructions. I'm trying to pretend like if this was the first time you saw this... Oh, there we go. We released it, and it worked. And now enemies are coming after us. I gotta make some kind of move or something here, or we're gonna die. Oh, look, a treasure opened right there. That's cool. Go get him! Yes! So you can release the red worm to kill all the blue ones. Oh, what? Oh, I pushed the action button and it had a lag and it didn't work. Yeah, I'm with you there, Brian. It doesn't feel like it has the polish when you consider all the other arcade games you could be playing right now. But the idea is still fairly new. The big best one right now is Mr. Do. If you haven't seen Mr. Do, you need to see what Mr. Do does. Check out that one. All right, so somehow we got to go down and release the last red worm. Now, if I can time this, there we go, finally. Got him there. Let's go ahead and get the treasure here, and then... Okay, here we go. This is it. Kill them all. Yes, bonus points, and then... Is that it? Yep, and they run away. Look, the enemies run away, just like in Dig Dug. Okay, so now that we got the idea of how it works, you can't clear the level until you pick up all the gold and you remove the giant red bugs, worms, whatever you want to call them. So you carve a path, and so it has the aesthetic. It almost makes me think that like this one should have been released way early, like in 1981, rather than now. The other thing to consider, too, is we played a game called... Oh, I missed him. We played another digging game before Dig Dug came out, and that one played better than this one. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get to that gold. That's it. Yes, Pal Puck. It's the same idea, just reversed. You're not dropping the rocks down. I can't get over... Oh, maybe I can get over. Here we go. And then once you release the red worm... Oh, nope. I can paw. I got him, and then... And you have to time that to go up rather than down like the rock. Okay, I get it. Okay, so you'd have some enjoyment of this. If this was the only system you had, maybe at a pizza place right now, then yeah, you might have a little bit of enjoyment. But, I mean, we played a lot of arcade games. Digger cannot hold a candle to all those classic arcade games that are out there. I would say of all the games we've seen up to this point, I'm curious to see what the chat would say, but I'm thinking just around average because I understand how the game works. I wouldn't say it's below average. I would just say it's pretty usual for the arcade quality we've seen right now. Yes, more Dread. I love it, Marshall. Oh, man. So for arcade games, I'm thinking around average. Even Curtis saying 3. Oh, 3 is generous. Okay, then I'll be generous. We'll say 3 stars here. Of all the arcade games you could play up to this point, Digger by Century Electronics is a 3-star title. There you go. All right, after that, what's our next video game release? Next, we're going to play on the TRS-80 Coco, and this is Enchanted Forest. I'm not familiar with this one. This is one we only have an ad for. There it is, Genesis Software, the very first game we've seen them do here on the show, along with a few other ones. The big adventure in high-res graphics is here. Move through more than 50 scenes on a quest to rescue the captive princess. Decisions are made according to visual clues, not text. A sophisticated computer adventure, a real challenge. And you have to have extended basic. $21.95. Now, remember, right now, this would be all you would get about the information of the game. So let's imagine that's all we know about the game, and then we're going to go play it. You ready? Because that's all we have right now. Let's pop in and play The Enchanted Forest at sometime in October 1982. So this one marks our 146th game we played on the TRS-80 color computer. We're getting up there. And to load this one up, I got to go in and see how we load this one. Oh, that's right, it's basic. They told us that in the example. So this is E and C, Fort, ready, engage. We're back to the green glow of the cocoa. It feels good. What is the Enchanted Forest? They said adventure game, but what kind of adventure game? And this is kind of the fun. When you saw this in the magazine, you don't know what you're getting into. You know, oh, we got the draw-in. Nice. Okay, I'm getting all warm and fuzzy. We got graphics. I can feel the sophistication. Okay, we got the Enchanted Forest, Genesis Software. This is the very first video game they've ever done. So they have a lot to look up for. Here we go. And this one actually has the color aesthetic of Coco Terrestrial that we just played. Okay, we're in. Is it a text adventure game? Let's see if I type. Oh, yeah, I can type. Got it. Look which direction. Let's look south. That verb is not in my vocabulary. What? Look S. Whoa. Very different text parser. I couldn't combine them. I couldn't say look south. I had to say look, and then it says what direction. And this is us looking that way. Okay, so let's go south. Did it work? Have we gone south? Well, we're in a different spot. We're not oh no, we're still on the path. Let me try it again. Go south. So I look south, it shows us the path, and now oh, I did it. So I'm here, but now there's no path. So I'm moving around. Now let's look again. Look north. Okay, it works. So you can use, it is a 2-word text parser. I thought we had to do individual ones. All right, so we can actually type, I look north, and what in the world is that? Look ground. Is it going to be one of the... Yes, no, it doesn't understand ground. All right, everyone, what are we looking at? Oh, north. Look north. It feels a little clunky, but I can understand why they say impressive graphics. You know, the graphical display draw-in. So we would call these a graphic text adventure. It's still a text adventure, but they're displaying graphics. They are separating the two, though. You know, you're going from a total graphic screen. There is no text parser or text on the screen. What is that, though? It is boots. All right, let's try get boots. You cannot carry anymore. Oh, I can't? What's my inventory? Inventory is not in your vocabulary? Oh, I'm so scared. What about I and V? Oh, no. I and V? What about I? Oh, no. This is the kind of game that we need to poke it and prod it and find out what is the full vocabulary of this text adventure. Or I'm sorry, a graphic text adventure. Let's do look down. Let's try that, Ubicore. Nope, that's not in my vocabulary either. All right, so let's just go north. Let's ignore whatever that is on the ground. If this was... Oh, by the way, we are not following a walkthrough. So this is true 1982 adventure gaming right now, where we have no idea what we're looking at. What are those, mushrooms? Let's try. Get mushrooms. Oh, it also might be... Oh, if I can spell mushrooms. It also might not even be... Get. It might be take. Oh, no, it says you can... It's understanding get. Yeah, Marshall, I thought it was too, but you can't carry any more. Does that mean we already have mushrooms? Do we even have an inventory? I don't know. Let's keep going north. It's allowing us to go north. So we can see a bunch of other random things and not know what they are. But that's how you did adventure gaming right now. Oh, okay, so we kept going north in the path. Now we have no items, so we can't see anything. So let's keep going. Going north. All right, so it's not as well done as other text graphic adventure games, but the graphic... Oh, wait, we got a castle coming. Let's keep going. Maybe the castle will tell us what everything is. All the answers might be at the castle. Oh, there's no path? We have to find our way to the castle without the path? Okay, so let's look. How about try west? What does west look like? Where's the path? Oh, maybe that's right, Ubicore. We have to find the bag, and then once we have the bag, then we can find everything else. Okay, no path over there. What about east? I do like this, though, the first-person perspective saying, I want to turn my head and look. I'm looking in different directions. Yeah, nope, it's not doing that. Look. Self. Let's try that. Nope, self is not in the vocabulary. I'd love to know what all the commands are, but this is the other thing, too. I can't say look S. That right there is one of the cues of the vocabulary isn't large enough. When we play higher quality adventure games with text parsers, then they have abilities to say S, SE for southeast, instead of having to type the whole thing out. I bet, so I would say of all the games you could play right now, this one's a clunky one. The Enchanted Forest is much to be desired. I'm going to say of all the games you could be playing right now, it's on the lower end of average. If you think of everything else on a home computer, it is impressive that it's showing off the graphics, and we have a graphical text adventure game, but the text parser is a little bit to be desired. Yeah, I'm actually going to go low. I'll say 2 stars. It's bad, but it is the best of the bad of all the games you could play right now for Enchanted Forest. Yes. And yeah, I'm sure you could, Curtis. We could keep going to find exactly what all the commands are. Maybe it is take instead of get. Who knows? So a quick taste of what the Enchanted Forest has to offer here on Chronologically Gaming. Now it's time to put our video game playing on pause. Or if you're on a home computer, just turn the whole thing off. We have so many video games to go through before we reach the end of 1982. Now, this is the video games we couldn't find the definite release date for in October, but as we go through the rest of the months, there's still hundreds and hundreds of video games before we even finish the end of 1982, so we have lots more fun to be had. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, I'm so excited. I really want to play this one game the entire time. It is the very first role-playing game, true role-playing game, for any home console. It's going to have us stomping out Injustice. That's it for today, and like I always say, sometimes the best video games aren't the first with innovation or creativity, but the perfecters of it. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.